Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's stream. Um, Today, I'm pretty excited to get going on gMusic again. A lot of my recent live streams have been, a lot of my live streams lately have been enhancing Xamarin.Forms, which has been really exciting because a lot of those enhancements came from this stream. Working on gMusic let me know that there was plenty of things that I needed to make simpler and easier for everyone else. So it's kind of exciting to see direct benefits from working on this app coming to the rest of you guys. The ones that I've been working on lately have been the fonts and making the custom fonts easier and simpler to use. So it's been really exciting getting that working in Xamarin.Forms. And so hopefully the first pull request for doing iOS dynamic fonts was approved today, which was super exciting. Well, one of the code reviews was approved. I'm going to finish up this week getting the second pull request in, which makes using custom fonts simpler. So super exciting to see direct benefits from this live stream coming to all of you. And as I get started today, I realized that I had an agenda and I had been working on our agenda, and then I stopped using the agenda for a week or two, or I think it was only 1 week. But I wanted to make sure that to start out today, I bring up the agenda and I want to kind of figure out what to work on and get your input. So just getting started. Oh, I got to plug in. We almost didn't get code. I forgot to plug in something. All right, that should now hopefully give us screen when I switch over. All right, so now my screen's gonna wig out as I just plugged in the HDMI cable. Can't believe I forgot that. All right, so I'm gonna switch over to my code view and have the agenda up. And it's a green screen. That's what I get for not testing ahead of time. Also, while I'm here, how's my audio? I've had audio issues the past couple days, and I think I fixed those working with David. We jumped on a stream this morning and tested. And I'm just going to unplug my Elgato, plug it back in, see if that fixes it. Yes, there we go. Unplug the HDMI and plug it back in, and we get video. All right, so I'm assuming since nobody's yelling at me that my audio is insane, that audio is working and working well. All right, so our agenda for today. So I want to continue working on gMusic, and I want to do a few things. If we bring up the old app where it's at, this is the existing iOS app that we're porting to Xamarin.Forms. This is, let's just bring up the Android emulator and launch the Forms version that we're doing, and then actually let's change this theme so that way it's not in dark mode. Go to default. All right, now let's come back. Yeah, that's looking nicer. All right. And the Android version is, we haven't, oops, it's hard to, on these emulators, just drag those. We haven't been showing this or really working in the Android version, but you'll notice that it's really coming along nicely. I don't have this, I keep resizing that. I don't have the settings set up, so we can't log back in because this one I skipped login. So we should probably build the settings screen. So that way I can log in and show you what it looks like on this device, but yeah, not bad. Colors are different because this one has a light iOS blur view on it and this one doesn't. But yeah, I mean, and let's bring out the old iOS one. These ones are pretty close. I still need to finish tinting images. That's probably something we'll look at today. Whoa, David just rated me with 26 people. And hopefully my audio is good. Thank you, David, for rating. For some reason, I thought you were done streaming already. But super excited to see you here. All right. That's where all my people are. They're all watching your stream. That's why no one's watching me. Awesome. Glad to hear audio is superb. Thanks for following, Depeshi. Also, yeah, David helped me get my audio fixed today. It was weird. I just removed the mic from OBS and re-added it. So something odd was going on. But yeah, so here's the 3 different versions of the app right now. This is, like I said, is the original iOS one. This is the Xamarin.Forms one from this shared code, and this is the Android one from this shared code. So far, it's looking really, really nice. What I'm building is gMusic. So gMusic is an app that I've had for years. At one point, it was one of the top It was typically in the top 3 to 5 music apps on iOS. Then Google came out with a free version and surpassed me. And right now I'm rebuilding it in Xamarin.Forms. This one's native Xamarin iOS. And what it lets you do is it lets you stream music from Google. I also allow from SoundCloud, YouTube, or all these different sources. Hi, thanks for following. I cannot pronounce that. Was that Ike Slims? Ilky Slims? Nice. I like trying to pronounce them anyway. Yes, we have a GitHub URL. Absolutely. I'm doing this all open source. Let me grab that. Clancy gMusic. So the old version is just gMusic, and the new one is gMusic.Forms. So here's the URL for the code. Right now what I'm doing is I'm setting up the agenda for what I want to work on. So in the previous streams, we've got it pretty far along. Last time, I've got the old agenda up. Last time we worked on styles and custom fonts, got that finished. And then we did some stuff more with the styles and added a theme switcher and some gradient views on Android. So now that's why Android now looks pretty close to iOS and within reason. All right, so today what I'd like to do is I want to finish out that settings screen, and we have that down here because I want to be able to log into Android. So that way, normally you get a welcome screen. Hey, Pureween, thanks for following. Normally you get a welcome screen saying, hey, here you are. Do you want to log in or just use the native music, whatever's in your iPod or your new native music app, which I haven't built that integration on this part yet, so we show nothing in there. So I thought I had one for the settings. Oh well, we'll add a new one. Settings screen. Let's do account login. That's the important thing we need right now. It's account login. There's a lot more settings we need to add. Also, I think I'm ready to do the now playing screen. Right now, the current or the new app does not play audio. I haven't built the now playing screen. I need some playback controls so that way we can start working on the audio playback engine, a nice cross-platform audio engine. Without playback controls, it's really hard to build and debug that. So we'll do account login is the main thing we want there. So let's throw in what's it called? I think I already have it here. We're going to need a couple things to do that. We're going to want tinted images because without, oh right, I need that list thing. Without tinted images, we can't do the toggle state. Sorry, make sure I get this in the GitHub format. So we need toggle images and settings screen. We also need to do, I wonder let's finish the now playing screen. At least get it close enough. And we may need these toggle images as well to do that. So I think we'll move it down. I think that's a really good agenda for today. And let's see if we can get through and get some of the stuff built in Xamarin.Forms. All right, so let me bring our code back. Hopefully this is nice and big and everyone can see it. Let's zoom this down. This is actually we're already on the settings thing, which is great. So I'm using a table view, which is a very underrated and underused control in Xamarin.Forms. I love it. It was actually the inspiration for all of Xamarin.Forms, but it's funny that is now like the least used control, even though it's what started it all. All right, so inside of here we have our account sections. What I want to do is we're probably going to need on view appearing. Let's see where our curly brace is. Yeah, that's the right one. All right, so override on appearing. We're going to want to do a couple things to refresh the state of this when it appears. One of those is going to be updating this current accounts. And I need to create the accounts cell, what we want those to look like. All right, so let's do void refresh accounts settings. All right, now the way gMusic is architected is we have managers all over the place, and one of them is the account manager. I think it's account, or maybe it's plural. Oh, let me get Keycaster on so you can see my hotkeys. Keycaster on. Close you. Do something to make a tab. All right. Sorry, just doing that to move that to the right area. There we go. So account manager. And no, it's probably accounts. Try that. Okay, I can't remember what it's called. API Manager, that's the one I'm looking. No, is that right? I think it's API Manager. API Manager has all the currently logged in accounts, right? One sec. Let's look through here. It's been a while since I've touched this. Yeah, that gets all the stuff for SVGs. Let's double check one thing. What we'll do is we'll go to the old gMusic code really quick. And I just want to verify what I'm doing inside the settings screen. So view controllers, settings. This one's using monotouch.dialog. So using accounts, it has the settings for adding that. Account section. We have account section, account section. That's its, okay, where's its refreshing itself? Would be right here, API managers.current providers. We'll just copy that because that's what we need. All right, let's go back. All right, so inside of here, we're going to do API account managers dot, let's add the using for that. Much better. For each. All right, so for each of these, we're going to want to check and see if it already exists in that list. It might be easier just to kill it and refresh it. Let's be honest. There's nothing really going on there. Account sections dot clear. And then we can just say accounts sections dot add. And we'll say we need to create what these, I wonder if we should create these or if we should just use what's already there. Let's just use a default cell for right now. Because what we'll want is we'll want the icon, we'll want the image or the service type, so like Google Music, that's the only one that we have right now, and then also the account name. So let's do new text cell. I think this will be good enough. Image. There's an image on the text cell, right? It's not text cell. Maybe it's image cell. What I tend to do on these is subclass and create an account cell, and then it doesn't matter what it is. Maybe we'll do that with view cell. Oh, please don't lock up Visual Studio. You don't want a beach ball on me right now. Go, go, go. All right, there it goes. Assembly browser is just taking a minute. For now, we'll just do a text cell. I think it's an image cell is the one we want. Image cell. The nice thing about this is if you don't really have things to data bind, you have an ununiform set of data. This table view is amazing, or list view is amazing. No, table view is amazing compared to list view. So, hey, oh, I didn't notice chat. I had something else over it. We don't use table view because of this. Oh, Jason. The reason is it's not virtualized, but for a setting screen, you don't need it virtualized. You have like 10, 20 items in it. So ignore him. If you're going to be like doing a repeating list or data binding, yes, don't do list view or table view. They're very different APIs for different reasons. So ignore that. I love this thing. All right, so image source equals, I think we have these as SVG image sources. I want to double check what we're doing inside of our images and helpers, right? Yes, SVG image source dot from resource. And what we can do, let's make sure we add that in there. Wait, those are the right ones, right? SVG image source dot from resource. No, we were doing something else with ngraphics. It's an ngraphics image source. This is the one I want. Sorry, I forgot what I was doing. ngraphics image source from resource. All right, now inside of here, we should be able to just go x dot, now we need to do our image equals, I just want to make sure I do this right, API manager dot share dot get image, or get SVG, and then you pass in the service type, x dot service type. All right, now this will give us SVG. So now we can say this SVG is from here, and now we should get pretty images. Text equals x dot, do I have a name for those? Or do I do those off in the API manager as well? API manager dot share dot get. I have the get account. We'll need that. Actually, let's check the old code. I just want to make sure I fill these out right. On these ones, I data bind it though using that account cell. So create one of these new elements, loop through those, add element, dun, dun, dun. Wait, it's not the greatest implementation on UWP either. Really, I wonder why it's not very good on UWP. It shouldn't matter. I mean, it's just a list view under the, is it the cells that are badly designed? Okay, so new account cell, pass that thing in. I'm gonna go grab, oh, that's sad. I'm sorry, those aren't very well designed. We'll go grab this account cell. It looks, yeah. Well, the thing is with this, you don't have to use the built-in cells. You can still use view cells, just like you were using before. So don't have to be stuck with the cells that are built in there. So yeah, it's no big deal. All right, so we grab the email. Oh, I didn't actually say what type. I just do the image and then that works. And then the account. I didn't realize if I did anything special. Oh no, I do a caption. Caption, API manager. Oh, I have a display. String, sign into service. Oh, that's to the login. And then else log out. That's right, I tell the button is a log out, so you can't tap on it to log out. Sorry, trying to remember what exactly this thing does. It's been a while since I built the settings screen. All right, so what we'll do is we'll say API manager dot get account. We'll just say, actually, let's copy some code because we already are at the provider level right here. So the account cell, we don't need that. We do need the value equals provider email. All right, so X email, perfect. And then the detail equals on here, setting strings, go to our localized stuff, strings.logout. All right, now we will have one other one, which we'll set and cache. For now, we'll just say cell. And this one will be add or login cell. What we'll do is we'll set that right here. Login cell equals new, can't remember, we'll just do text cell. This will be good enough for now. Text cell, and we'll say text equals settings strings dot add account or login. I think it's just the login button. Actually, we can verify to make sure. Caption is this format, API service, string sign in to service. That's what I'm looking for. Right, we'll go with that for now. Let's see how this thing runs. So now what we can do is we will just by default put this login cell inside of here. And then at the very end, we will do a counts.sections, or sorry, dot add. Add that thing back in. So the login is at the bottom. All right, so that button's not going to do anything yet. All right, let's get building on this. Oh, why is that complaining? Is that not how I did those in the images? Oh, I just do new image source, SVG name. Okay, I need to copy that nonsense, except I don't need the tint color. Let's fix that or those aren't going to work. SVG and size. Did I have a size? We're not going to put it in a size. Let's just see what it does with no size. Run that. Also, though, as all of you who normally aren't in here, if you have any questions, feel free to ask them. Feel free to comment. Tell me how to do things better. Definitely, I like interaction, so you're not going to bother me at all. I did not add in Google Music SVG. Or did I change? I could have, my old code could be wrong. Let's stop. Why is the stop button not working? Visual Studio stuck in, icon's not updating. Like I'm on an early preview stuff. I always run on early preview, so we will see more bugs than usual when I'm doing stuff in Visual Studio. But yeah, did I not add in? I did not add in. No, there is Google Music SVG. Resources SVG. Let's go in here, and we don't need API Manager has old stuff. This is the old gMusic stuff. I just copied it over. I think that's the problem, is we don't need this. That's definitely the problem. Old code, new paths, new lookups. Hey, you were rated. Rated in? Or you were actually rated by someone else? All right. Hey, check that out. It says log out though, and it should not. Oh, I'm trying to remember on the old one. Did I just have them all there as log in? So I had the ad streaming service. But that one, oh, it just says log out because we're not logged in. Thanks, Dave. I appreciate it. All right, so we're getting somewhere now. So we have that icon's a little small, but it's working. So we have that. Our ad streaming service will need to update, make it work, but why do we have one if we're not logged in? That's what confuses me. Oh, that's why the old code had that, because sometimes you have one, but it's no longer logged in. So if you did log in, then you logged out, it'll remember that, and it'll tell you to re-add that one or adds a default. That's why it's saying, hey, if there is no email provider, do this thing. We're just going to copy that. But this is why it's nice to put these in a subclass since you're not doing all this nonsense. Let's just do that while we're at it. Let's do a add new, let's create a folder. Add new folder, cells. And we'll say inside of there, add new count cell. Did you look at using fonts for the icons instead of SVGs? That's been brought up a few times, and I've thought about using them. I just haven't done it yet. I have a bunch of icons that I like, and some of them are like my logo and things like that. And I've already had the SVG stuff. And like I said, a lot of this is legacy code. Well, I'm bringing over some of it. Since I'm rewriting this in Xamarin.Forms, I didn't want to rewrite everything. There's no point in doing that. And I already had everything in SVG format. And I could use one of those fonts. I'm not against doing it, and maybe we'll do one later where we swap some things out. But I'll always have a couple things that need to be SVGs, like my logo. And my play button is custom as well because it has my logo in it. Let me bring up the logo really quick just to show you what I mean. So inside of here, resources, SVG's logo. Is it called logo? What do I call it? I can bring up the play button though. Oh no, I don't want to open you in Illustrator. That's too much. Goodbye, Illustrator. Go away. Go away. I just want that open something light. What is Gifter? Does that let you create these out of your own? You upload yours? Also, mine have colors. They're not all solid. So do they? Fonts can't do that as well. My play button is, but my logo is not. So it really comes down to my logo. I have no real good reason aside from that. Let's just open this. Chrome will show it. Oh, and that looks funny. But my play button is funky. So yeah, I probably should look at doing the SVG fonts. I mean the fonts. Everybody loves the fonts, and so there's got to be something going on there. I just have not investigated it too much yet. Plus, it was fun to write something for custom SVGs anyway. I did that on another stream as I did something with nGraphics to draw them out and do some fancy stuff. Okay, account cell, we're just going to say for now this is an image cell. Image cell. And we can just set a binding context on this thing now. You know what? I'm just going to be lame. Override binding context changed. And we're going to say var provider equals this dot binding context as, those are called music providers. Yeah, I really should look at using those font stuff though. And it probably would make a lot of sense to do that. All right, so from here, now we can say image equals, or image dot source property. All right, no. This dot image source equals, let's go copy that other code over from our settings screen. Okay, let's just move this over. We'll throw that into here. We're also going to say this dot text equals, we'll do provider is null or white space. Use the new one. Provider dot question mark dot email. Let's just grab that old if. Okay, so if it's null, we'll do this thing. I don't need, okay. And we'll throw that in. And let's throw some, drop that down. Add that using, add that using. Okay, service type comes from provider dot service type. And dun, 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 got that. And then we'll do else. The last one is the login, or strings.logat. Okay, so that sets that text. Perfect, we've got that one. And the caption gets set to, oh, the detail gets the caption, doesn't it? Oh, what do I do with my caption? What is my caption? Oh, caption is used by the accessibility stuff, isn't it? Now I'm remembering how this stuff works. That's right, let's see what this looks like. Strings.logout. Okay, SVG is going to be, grab that one more thing here. Almost ready, almost ready. Put that there. And your provider. Now, why is that complaining? Oh, there's a comma, semicolon there. No semicolon. All right, so now we have this account cell, and we'll say if provider equals null, return, just so we don't blow up anywhere. I don't need to do that null check now. Let's go to our settings screen, and we will say for each of them, accounts.add new account cell. Throw that in there. Finding context equals X. All right, that looks cleaner now too. Let's run it again, see where we're at. Run, run, run. Oh, I should probably music. Okay, this is loading up. Hey, that's looking pretty good. Sign in. Let's make that thing work. I also had inside of here, I think I just put it at that level too, didn't I? Did I do the on account stuff there? Nope, nope, nope. All right, so what we can do now is API manager, sorry, settings. Actually, I wonder if we can just do it in the cell. That might be weird. We'll do, I think these cells, do they still have an on tap? I can't remember. Let's check in here. They used to have something like this. On tapped. Okay. Tap, so it's an event. Okay, I don't want to have to deal with those. Let's just do this. Actually, I can override on tap, can't I? Yes, I can just override on tap. Perfect. I totally don't like the events, especially on something that I'm just clearing out, because then I have to hold a thing to it and remove it and all kinds of nonsense. Might not be too bad, but I hate just doing all the unsubscribe and resubscribing on it. So on tap, we should say, let's do this thing again. If there is no binding context, I don't know what to do with you. You're pointless. So we'll just say for now, a account manager. Hey, nifty poo dragon. I get that now. Thanks for following. All right, so let's go into our API manager. I think I just have to do. There's a login screen I have to do for this. Share login, create and login. That's what I can. I wonder if I have to create it. No, I can't remember. This API, let's go to the API manager and just double check in here. So API manager, what it does is it does a couple different things. It keeps track of our APIs and then the music managers and merges them together. It deals with all the syncing and things like that. So it knows who's logged in, and it deals with all the logouts, and it creates a model to keep track of the state of those as well, which is pretty cool. So it helps with the syncing, so I don't have to resync them every time. By default, this also says what's allowed. Right now we have everything commented out but Google, since I haven't built any of those for the new one. And inside of here, we will do a normally when you first start, you get a welcome screen. The welcome screen will definitely call this. It shows a thing and says, "Hey, what service do you want to do?" It gives you the options, and you can just log in. Now, since we have one and we need to log back in, we don't have to create one because we have one. And what if we can just do provider.login? Let's just do await. I think I might just say. My question is, why isn't it showing us anything? I'm a little confused on this. Authenticate. Dot. No. Okay, APIs should have an authenticate method. Oh, it might not be authenticated API. All right, I just want to see where we're at. I want to see how we got to this point. What is this provider? Because how do I have a provider that exists but doesn't have an account? That confuses me. I don't know how Android got to this state. Oh, we're on iOS. iOS isn't in that bad state. iOS is logged in. So why don't we have our username? That's the real question. That's the problem, is we should have a username. For some reason I was thinking we were on Android. I totally forgot where I was at. Okay, that play button being in the wrong state is going to drive me nuts. I might have to restart Visual Studio. All right, so provider is Google Music. We have an API. We don't have the email. Why don't I have the email? Let's go look at the Google Music API. I might not have ported something all the way. So, all right, so this does all this stuff to identify. Is identify never called? Maybe we don't identify them. I bet that's it. We never identify them. We're supposed to identify after login. So I just want to search in files and make sure. Found a bug already. No. Provider does do it. Sync even doesn't await identify. Okay, let's put a breakpoint in there. Let's see what's going on. Why can't you go to that? We might be going to vanilla Visual Studio. Go back to the stable stuff. It's going to keep misbehaving on me. All right, I want to know why we have no identity. And okay, I'm gonna have to restart. It's in a bad state. I can't continue through. All right, Visual Studio. Let's restart. If any of the Visual Studio team is watching, lots of issues I'm having. So no, I am not using Xcode. I am using Visual Studio for Mac. gMusic is a music player for iOS, and I'm porting it to iOS and Android. And it lets you play music from Google Music. It lets you play music from YouTube and SoundCloud and all kinds of stuff. Almost anywhere. Dropbox, Google Drive, the the OneDrive. So yeah, just lets you play your music wherever it lives. And I may add extra providers and things in the future. But yeah. So we're building gMusic and debugging why it's not showing us the username, because that's useful. All right, so provider, we've got this. That context changed. Why is sync not being called? So this is all using C#. It's all being powered by Xamarin, which lets you use C# and .NET to build stuff for iOS and Android. Yeah. All right. So let's go to the API manager, because the API manager, it's its job to refresh these things. So it's not actually calling sync. So manager, go back to our API manager. It does have a load for each API create. It does that. So we have one, creates the API. Let's go to the sync, start sync. Let's find where this is called. Oh, I think I know why. I don't call sync on load. I call it when a view is displayed that needs it. We need to call that sooner. So if I go to songs, then that gets called. So we need to call that elsewhere. That's easy to fix, super easy to fix. All right, so now we're syncing. Either way though, this data, the identify, should go get that data. Okay, that gives me some stuff. Perfect, perfect. That should get saved in. Okay, remove you, I don't need you. Okay, so we've got the email. Okay, so now if we go to the settings, will we have it? If so, something's not loading from the cache right, which that's fixable too. Provider. Now we have an email. Okay, so we're also not loading the email until sync. I think before I just synced so fast it didn't matter. The old one would sync at the beginning. So after we load for each of these, we're just going to throw into here. We're not even going to await it because we don't have to. Start sync. Nice about this start sync is though, it has a forced refresh. So if you do a pool to refresh, it will always refresh. If not, it only refresh once every 5 seconds, and they do a diff style sync. So it's not like it's crazy to sync too often. It's just small data packets. All right, so let's run this again. That should now give us on our settings page what we want, and I want to see why the cache isn't working. All right, so now we're syncing sooner. And let's find out what's up with that email. Okay, that's done. Hey, log out. We're seeing log out now. We're just not seeing the user email. Okay, so let's find out what's going on with this email. So, that's in the base class, right? Google Music provider. This has email. Okay, email, it should go and try and get the current OAuth account out. If the account has never authenticated or even tried, that's going to be null. I bet that's our problem. So doing that sync sooner is going to just fix that for us. Because no, it's there. Huh, email's there. That works. All right, I guess we didn't have a bug there. We just need to sync sooner. Caching is working. Let's close all these. Let's jump into that cell now, and let's add that. Let's add the label, the detail in there, and then we'll deal with actually making this do something. This dot text or not detail equals. What are we calling this one? This is provider. Let's run that again. We need to style these still. And then let's add the login one, make the login one work. This add streaming service, we need to make that work. All right, that's looking pretty good, minus the styles being wrong, but we'll fix styles. We'll get there. I'm liking that, liking it a lot. Okay, login, done. All right, let's make these things start doing something. Let's go into the settings page. The only one I really care about making work right now is this login. Hey, thanks for following Pettybomb or Pettytomb or Peppytomb. That's a P, not a B. Peppytomb. Thanks for following. Okay, so let's go into where we created this thing, and we'll do login cell dot on or dot tapped. So yeah, well, I've been gMusic's Wednesdays. I always do gMusic on Wednesdays. So I've got Dan. I got the one pull request, and I still have to finish that other one. So we'll get them both done. Oh, and then let me finish writing proper syntax there. Now this, what do we do on the welcome screen? On the welcome screen, when you click login, this is what I do. So we're going to throw this in here. There we go. Thanks for the follow, DevKeys. Hey, I got that name faster. All right, there we go. Oh, that S isn't right. There we go. That'll work. All right, so now what we'll do is we'll create a new login. And oh no, we don't need to do pop. So yeah, that's pretty simple. And right now we're just hard coding it to Google. If we look at what the old one does a picker where it'll pop up and ask you, is this the right one? Yeah. So inside the old one, there's a view controller for the intro does this. The intro will takes you to a login one where you get to pick. All right, so yes, it does a service picker. And so the service picker, we'll need to implement this later. I didn't want to search. So our service picker, the service picker will go through all the different service types, create a list, but we're not doing that right now. We're hard coding this to gMusic, so we'll add that later. Or actually, we could do it. No, we're going to stick where we're at right now. So we do a pop-up and say, hey, which one do you want to do? So let's make sure we throw a to-do in here. Add service picker later. All right, so for now, we'll just say you're hard-coded to Google, and our login page should now work. This will also now let you log into multiple Google accounts. You can sync to multiple stuff, which is pretty cool. And actually, let's get that text right. That text is totally wrong. Add streaming service. There's a, hey, login. Yay, login screen pops up. Cancel. Didn't want to save it. All right, perfect. This one is strings dot add. There's something about adding an account. Now, let's go look at the old code. I know I have something in there for it. Sorry, I keep referencing the old code. I did all the localization forever ago, so now remembering what that is hard to remember. Yeah, strings.add streaming service. Oh, okay. I didn't see it under add. It's right. That works. Let's run that. And at this point, we can go test and see if Android can log in now. And then we can see how Android's looking. So add streaming service. Perfect. Let's stop this. Let's go run Android and see if we can log in on Android. My music just went slow on me. Not cool. All right, Android's running. Let's go into the settings. Accounts. Yay, there's no accounts. That's what I'd expect. We'll click Add Streaming Service. And we can log in. Uh-oh. That URL is not found. Hmm. gMusic login is broken on Android. That's definitely, we have internet or we wouldn't see that. This Google login's a little hackish because this is a private API we're using, so I'll need to debug that later, see what's going on. But okay, Android, we're not going to log in then, I guess. I'll have to hack that another day. All right, so we've got some settings. We've got enough to log in. I don't think I want to build the rest of the settings right now. I like how we can add our different accounts. We'll add the other ones later, like YouTube and things like that. And last FM. We'll need to add that in. But all right, let's start working on some images stuff because I want to get through the now playing screen. That way we can start building the audio engine because that's going to be exciting. And a music app that doesn't play music is kind of pointless. So let's get some images in here. Let's commit some code actually. What have I done? In here is I've updated the forms version and oh right, last time after the stream, I did this off stream. I didn't have the scale stuff in there for our SVGs, so they were tiny on iOS or on Android. So fix that and that's about it. Added settings or added accounts / login to settings screen. Fixed image scale on Android. And what else? That's pretty much it. Updated agenda. All right, let's commit that. Let's push that up there. Let's jump in and let's work on some. We need to do image tint. We need to do the tinting stuff first, don't we? Tinting is very, very important. If we don't do that, we can't tint the images. We're not going to be able to do the toggling yet. So maybe we'll work on our image tinting. All right, so I want to look at iOS. No, it's going to be in the shared. I think we need to go look at the view. Where did I put that? I have the end graphics. Let's go to helpers because I know we can get it from there. Oh, it's right there anyway. End graphics. All right, so let's deal with. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to do with the platform. I didn't want to do this platform. We might put it into a shared place. All right, so does forms tint color stuff let us put it to a hex? Can I get the hex value on it? What's the quickest way to get the forms color into hex? Anyone have any ideas? I can go look at the forks code. There's no extension or anything. Um, okay, I thought forms inside there had something. Let's go Google inside of here. I want to go from a forms color to hex because all my SVG stuff's in hex. I just hope that there would just be a thing in there. No, no, no. Not from hex to forms color, from forms color to hex. The opposite way that everyone else goes. I don't do anything the normal way. We don't have that built in? I need to add an extension. Let's see what people are doing on Stack Overflow. Okay, we'll add an extension. Whoa, why do they do that? That's not. Oh, is that right? Alpha. Okay, yeah, that's right. All right, well, I'm going to borrow his extension method. All right, so let's go into We have an extension methods in here. There's array extensions. Where's my other extensions? Do I not have a generic extension one right now? All right, well, let's add a new forms extension one. Normally have something like that by now. We're how many weeks into this and we don't have a forms extension? All right, so I'm gonna need that. So what we'll do is we'll say public static string. Actually, how does ngraphics use these? Now I need to remember what they do. Do they pass, I can't remember if I'm doing it from a stream or a string, because we're going to need to do some replacing in here. Resources, renderers, ngraphics extensions. Load image. So it gets a stream. Okay, so I'm going to have to take a stream and return a stream. Awesome. All right, public static. Music slowed down again. It's killing me today. All right, so we're going to do a stream. We'll just do this. That way it's in. Okay, perfect. So we have a stream. Now what we'll do is we're going to have to read this thing out, replace the image, and we're just going to say for this one, public, tint replace X color. It's a horrible name. Maybe I need to come up with something better. And inside of mine, let's go look what's inside of those. All of them I think are just what's in there. So open with source code editor. I'm pretty sure, yeah, that's what I needed. So what we'll do, put this in here, and we're going to just do a simple string replace. I think that'll be good enough for my images. It's not perfect, but we'll just replace everything of that color over to change the tint. Why not, right? So, oh, this is a stream. All right, so using var, see if I remember how to read streams. Var text equals new reader. Read all. Read to end. These are going to be tiny. I wonder, is that extension async? Nope. All right. So dun dun dun. Oh, that doesn't need to be using because it is text reader should be. That way we properly dispose of it. And then var contents equals. It's kind of lame to take this to and from. I wonder if I can do something in here to where. Yeah, hold on. I'm getting the file, then I put it into a stream reader. Is that really the only option in ngraphics? Go fast assembly browser. Assembly browser's going slow. Yeah, I can only do it from a text reader. So nice of them. So I wonder if I did it at the text reader level. That might work. If I do a text reader, replace it, reset the position. No, that wouldn't work. Can I do? No, that'll be harder. That'll be way harder. All right, we're just gonna do this. This is super, super lame. All right, so contents equals that. Contents dot replace. Let's do var equals, what's this thing? Actually, let's make sure we make this forms extension just to everything. I'll just do, put it in the Xamarin.Forms namespace, so that way it works for just anywhere we're using colors. Okay, we'll go back into here. We will say replacement color equals tint. Oh, this should not be static. Yeah, that's fine. So we don't, okay, so then what we'll say is tint color. Okay, tint color dot value dot to, what's that thing called? Get. I'm gonna call it 2. 2 makes more sense to me. All right, so now we're gonna say take this dot to hex string. Also, I want to do a little check in here. If tint color dot has value, return SVG stream. Perfect. So we'll just return it. Won't do any of this nonsense. New stream reader. Take that. All right, so we'll replace. We're just gonna do a blanket replace. Hey, thanks for following, Sanctio. All right, so we're gonna replace out that tint replace hex color with our new one, replacement color. We're gonna have to put some breakpoints in here to make sure this thing works. Hey, you added an issue with me on it. Oh, you added it for me. Perfect. Thank you. I might just end up fixing that because there's little things like that that are annoying. All right. So we have that apply tint. We have this. It's going to return the stream. Now let's say return new. I need to do a new memory stream. Hi, Stuart. What? You got something for me? Oh, no, you did not get something for me. Thank you. New memory stream. I'm trying to remember how to get text back into a memory stream. Hey, R2. That's not right. So, what is it? It is a, I can't remember. Let me just do, I think it's off this thing. Equals, not getting, yeah. He's not getting something for me. I think that's what he said. And, read, wait, there's an easy way to do this in .NET. Just like stream text into a memory stream. C# text or string to stream. Something with the memory stream. Can't I just do new memory stream, stream writer? Oh, it's so ugly. New memory stream, m dot, sorry, new stream writer, m. Let's just nest all this nonsense. And we'll put all of this in a using as well. No, I don't want to dispose of this because it needs to be turned out. Duh. And I'm gonna have to have those separate actually. I can't have them together. So new stream is gonna be the memory stream. Because I need to return just the stream, not the writer. Sorry. Var SW equals SW dot write. That is so tiny. I can't even read that. Write string, contents. And then we will return. That is really ugly. I don't like that at all. It's not very efficient. Luckily, these are all cached, so we're only doing it once per tint. I know. What's up with my tooltips? I need to complain about that. It's only on the preview stuff, and I need to file a bug on that. All right. Oh, Prism module. What's my first step? It's nice asking other people in chat. I like that you guys are discussing stuff in chat. It's super exciting. I don't really use Prism, so I can't answer. But Dan, I think, uses Prism, right? Once in a while. Really? You like Prism? I had no idea, Dan. That's news to me. All right, so now we have this apply tint. So now we can go into our extension here. And what we can do, actually, if we pass this thing out as a stream, yeah, this will be fine. All right, so var, actually this, yeah, it's still stream. All right, so var, we'll say file equals, we have our, oh, this is at the wrong point. We don't have tint in here yet. Darn it! How is this being used? Now I gotta remember how we're using this. We have an ngraphics image source handler. This does load from graphics. Let's change this. Let's change this API. That's all we need to do. On iOS, we can just, actually iOS, we don't have to do any of this. Only on Android we have to do this. On iOS, we can say, this is how we'll do this. Var type equals source dot tint color dot has value. Then what we'll do is we will say we'll let iOS deal with it on iOS. iOS has this nice tint mode. So automatic, no, not automatic. Dot always template else UI image mode dot original. Now what we can do, can I, you can't set the tint on that. That's not gonna work. I thought I was gonna get all fancy. So iOS has that tint stuff, so you can set things to a rendering mode of tint. So this will totally work if the parent class has a tint set, but I can't guarantee that at this point. And I don't want to add a custom renderer. All right, we'll do it the same on both platforms. Thought I'd get fancy. No fanciness for me today. All right, so inside of here, what we'll do is we're going to change this, and we're going to add a new one that does that. And then this one, instead of passing in an SVG, we're just going to say this thing takes a stream. And right here, we will say using, so that way it gets disposed automatically, and we'll throw that into there. So now, what we can do is, we will just do SVG, we will do, actually we need this. Return, load image, SVG, and we'll pass that stream in. Man, that thing is killing me. File, size, and rendering mode. All right, that'll work. Whoa, what just crashed? Oh, I don't care about Sparrow quitting. All right, so we've got a new extension. So now inside of here, we can say, instead of just loading the image, we'll say var stream. Let's go copy that code because we're going to need this too. So var s equals this. And now we'll take source dot apply tint. Perfect. All right, so now we'll get this source. Now instead of doing this, actually we can continue on our path here. We'll make this a perfect. That'll work. Now we can jump into here and just continue with that. Equals s load from source stream. All right. Now we should have tinted images on iOS. Let's run that and see. I hope. Oh, build error. Build error. Why do we have a build error? Oh, easy enough. All right, actually, I want to put some breakpoints in there because I want to see what's going on inside of our, and I want to see what this thing is. Oh, I did this wrong. Come on, guys. Come on. Who let me do that? I blame Dan. If only I had Prism, I wouldn't have made that mistake. And if only he had suggested I'd used it. All right, so now we'll have images that have a new tint color. Oh, and I'm running Android, which isn't going to show that stuff anyway. iOS. Oh, Bill there's. Bill there's. Sitting here dancing to my music, and there's Bill there's. Oh, I forgot I do the accessibility identifier. We're going to still pass that thing in then. Because I like having that. Accessibility identifiers are really nice to have. Don't want to lose that by doing fancy things. That is going to be, now I need to just update that one API here. All right, now it'll work. Build errors are gone, I hope. Man, those tooltips. I can't forget to log those. Oh, I never updated our what we're working on. Oh, I needed to actually tell topic. Oh, it's lowercase. Adding tinted image toggle buttons. All right, so now we have our replacement color. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Tooltips, go away. All right. I might not want the alpha, but we'll just go with it. We'll see what happens. So now, we have nothing. The images are blank. Why are our images blank? Okay, so let's really quick jump into this extension stuff. Let's remove our tint stuff just to make sure. Let's debug and see where I messed it up. We're just going to always return that SVG stream. I'm going to have to reset that memory stream. After writing to it, I have to seek it back to the beginning. I bet that's the issue. I bet. All right, so it's not the stream. I always forget that about streams. It's so easy to forget to, after writing, s.seek 0. Go back to the beginning, guys. Do I have to tell it what order I'm doing it from? So offset seek origin dot begin. Oh no, not current. All right. I bet that was the issue. Do you have any idea how many times that has bit me and how long that has taken me to find sometimes? Streams. APIs you never want to deal with if you don't have to. And I say that as I write a streaming service app, or streaming music app. No, that didn't do it. I wonder if it is our 2hex adding alpha. So let's do this. Else include nothing. So do I have to just escape these? All right, we're just gonna say do some fancy, do some fancy. Sometimes it's easier to nest it than trying to figure out escapes. Oh, alpha text. All right, so we've got that. Let's jump over to our, I wonder if it's the alpha. That'll be good to know. Okay, I do like that graying out if you're not actually using it. So, all right, anyone think it's gonna work this time? If not, anyone have any ideas on to what I've done wrong? Hey Chase, what's up, bud? What? It's right down there. So no one has any ideas what fixed it. All right, close my door and you go out, Chase. Let's compare some contents. All right, so I want to now compare these two. Let's put a breakpoint here. Let's see if I'm breaking something else. All right, so contents. Let's put you pinned. Oh, it's not gonna let me pin it. All right. Let's go new file here. All right, first lines look good. That lane looks good. Generator code. Title's fine, that didn't change. This one shouldn't change. Okay, so that's the official change. We can see by the gray. It's no longer highlighting there. Nothing else changed. Right? Everything else is basically identical. Or is identical. let's save this to my download or to live stream gMusic. Just save it in SVG. Then we can go to that folder. Maybe I totally broke something. Or the tint is white, so it is showing, right? No, it's there. And it's all drawing white. That is baffling. Hmm. Oh, I thank you. I don't need your treats. You can take them. All right, I'll keep them. I have Scooby snacks. You want to close my door, Stuart? Kids are really active today. All right. Yeah, Scooby snacks. They're actually not too bad. Who doesn't like Scooby snacks? Totally didn't close my door. It's okay. I'm gonna close it really quick. Makes it quieter in here. All right. All right, this is baffling. This should have just been super easy to do. Swap those out and it'll just render. So if I reseek this, let's really quick before I do this, let's see current position. I think you can just do position equals 0 too. Not position. All right, so we write the new content out. Saved as a new variable just to make sure. Sanity check. This is crazy. So crazy. My door is opening. All right, there you go. Close my door. Those snacks didn't last long in here. Okay. All right, we might not be doing tinted images just because this makes no sense. No sense. I don't want to like write this out to a file. That'd be stupid to do that and cache it and whatnot. I bet that would work, but I don't want to do that. Let's just check one other thing in here. Okay. I don't think it could be something where it's being disposed. I just don't see it. So I'm using this text reader to read it out. That should be fine. You know what? Let's just ditch the usings really quick. There's a chance something's being disposed. Better. Add a semicolon. Problem with him delivering treats is now I'm a little hungry. Should have eaten one. Okay, it's not something being disposed. Let's see if we're getting any exception in here. I don't know why I didn't think of doing that before. Let's make sure it returns. It should throw an exception though. It did, it did. It did, it did. There's an unclosed literal string, position 9, 22. Then why'd the old one work? Yes, an exception. I don't know why I was swallowing that and not paying attention to it. Okay. Let's go back to here. But I don't know why the SVG was fine until I do this replace. That's what's killing me. And when I copy and paste that in, it works into Sketch. Sketch was fine with it. Yeah, that's what's weird. Line 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And are they all throwing out that way? Very, very, very odd. All right, because watch this. Reading into memory, changing or reading out of memory to a string, changing one thing like that, just that color, and then back into a memory stream shouldn't corrupt anything. And that works. Very, very, very odd. All right, I don't want to spend too much time fighting this because it's dumb to waste time on. I can do other things like this is a great reason why I should not be using SVGs and I should be using those fonts. It'd be easy to set the color. So maybe we'll be switching to those anyway. So I don't think I'm going to keep fighting this. See, one more try, see if it does the same thing with the alpha. If it does, we're just going to ignore it for now. Save this code, don't use it, and then I'll fight it later. And then I'll report back though and let you guys know what it was. Or we're just going to say, screw it, we're not dealing with this, we're going to use the other stuff. All right. All right. Let's commit this stuff. All right. Throw that in there. We'll push that up there. If anyone wants to download it, play with it, and tell me what's going on, that'd be awesome. If not, we're going to move on. It's really not needed for this stuff. All right. So I want to start on this now playing screen. The now playing screen is a really cool screen. I mean, it has to be. It's one of the highlights of the app. It's got blurs. It's got multiple panes. If we look at our current app, now that that's fixed, let's run that again. Our current one has nothing. It's got the startings of the top bar. Oops. I started the wrong. Okay, we don't want that breakpoint because only on exceptions. All right. So we've got the starting of it. We've started on this top bar, which will fade out. On this one, I just let it go off screen, but I think that's going to be harder to do in Forms, and I think we'll have the same effect if it just fades out. So I'll probably just fade that pink bar out as it goes up. But we're going to want this little mini bar, which is... Oh, I didn't do the mini dock on iOS. I know I have it on Android. That's not the right app. It's one of these. Nope, not that one. Hey, thanks for the follow, Salad. All right, this one has the little... Android does more. All right, so... Are you done loading? Hey, Super Game Maker, thanks for following. So the height's wrong on this, but it has the concept of a half load, which will do this. All right, and see what I mean with my play button? My play button's a little fancy, but I can still make that into an SVG font. And my icon is still an SVG, so this thing is an SVG, so I'll still have that around. But, so I can't ditch SVGs. And I like the multi-tone color, so I have the real logos as well. But yeah, maybe we'll do our buttons for cause all of these, aside from mine, everything here I think would work in a font. All right. Nice thing about this is we can finally ditch this fuchsia color. That'll make Squeaky happy if she's here. But yeah, let's start adding some playback controls. This is gonna be a fun screen to build. Trying to think how I want to build it. The old one is really cool as well. Do I have nothing in context? Let me get something playing. Pause that so I don't, but you'll notice. Hey, thank you, Lucky number 11. Thanks for rating us. We're just deciding on how to do a layout on an app. So this old one, you'll notice you could swipe. Oops, actually playing music. Don't want to play that music on the stream. What we can do is we can swipe between those, so it's a collection view, and then also the rest does not change. So this is a really complicated layout we're going to have to work through. And yeah, trying to think. So we're going to have a collection view to take care of the current songs. We're going to need the playback controls, the progress with the slider, and I would like the idea of the fancy sliders. You'll notice that the speed is different based on how close you are to it. If you're up, you can finally scrub versus getting close and quickly scrubbing. Yeah, so we'll want to do that. We'll want to make sure we get all the labels working and all that fancy stuff. Do you need something? Hold on 1 second, guys.
If I'm not back in 5 minutes, just wait longer.
All right, I am back. Yeah, thanks again for the raid, though. Lucky No 7. Let's start building this thing out. I don't think for now, let's not do the carousel. Let's upgrade it to that because to back the carousel, we're going to need more data. So gMusic is an app that's open source. It lets you play music from Google, SoundCloud, lots of different music sources. Wow, my accounts went up. That's the highest I've ever had for people watching. This is awesome. But what it lets you do is it lets you play music from multiple different sources, from Google, YouTube, SoundCloud, your own Dropbox. You can put it from, yeah, basically anywhere you want to put your music from a shared source, it'll play it from there. I don't do Amazon because Amazon's doesn't let you and really fights you on it. I've actually been contacted from their lawyers, but basically everyone else doesn't care and lets me play their music. At least they haven't complained to me yet. So yeah, just lets you play your music from anywhere, do like playlists that way. Has an equalizer, which most iOS music apps don't. And right now I'm in the process of porting it to be completely cross-platform, so it works on iOS and Android and UWP and Mac and basically anywhere else. I'm only focusing on the audio players right now for iOS, Android, and Mac. I'll probably do something in UWP later or things like that. But right now it's just iOS and Android are the only ones we're really looking at, and we'll do more fancy things there later. So this one in the middle is the existing app. This is what it looks like if you were to go download the original repo and clone it and run it. It was in the App Store. YouTube did complain that I was embedding videos and allowing you to download videos. Apparently they don't like you downloading stuff. Yes, CS files, so this is definitely Xamarin. So they don't like you downloading YouTube videos for some strange reason. So if you download it from source, that'll always work. But if from the app stores, they made me remove it, and I haven't thrown it back up there without YouTube playback embedded in. If you play a YouTube video, it shows it right here, and then when you go full screen, it puts it inside the full screen player, and then you can rotate and do the whole full screen experience. So yeah, right now in the port that we're doing to make it completely cross-platform, we're doing it to Xamarin.Forms. It only supports it's only supporting Google Music right now. We'll add more providers in as we go. And I've been doing the stream every Wednesday, and I started from pretty much file new app, and we've been going through porting it over. So if you want to see the complete history, you can go through and actually follow that, which is kind of fun. All right, so what we were working on is doing this full screen player. We want to redesign this for iOS and Android. and make it look pretty again. So once we get the playback screen done, we can now work on the audio player to actually deal with some stuff. It's kind of hard to build the audio playback if you don't have playback controls. So yeah, let's get going on this. As I said, for now, we're not going to do the carousel. We'll upgrade it to the carousel once we actually have like a list to bind it to. It's kind of hard to do that when you don't have the stuff. And yeah, I think that's a good start. Well, let's get going on that. How to lay this thing out. Right now, our now playing screen, I did do it in XAML. So we have an absolute layout, and we have this broken out into two different pieces. One is this pink bar, which is going to be like the quick controls, and then the rest of it is the full layout. We need to get some playback buttons in here. We have some icons, so we can start ditching some of these. I wanted the tinting stuff, so that way if we like thumbs up and don't thumbs up, we can actually do the tinting based off of that. But we won't deal with tinting for now. We'll come back to that. All right, so the top layout, this top one doesn't have a name, but this grid, this is our, let's give it a name, X name. We'll do this our top, our mini play, we'll call it the mini player. So that's what this thing is. And what we're going to do is based on, we'll send something back. So based on percent shown, we'll fade that thing out so it's not visible when you're in full screen mode. And then we'll put the X buttons up there for the close and the current playlist. So all that stuff will pop up later. So we'll do that so that we have access to fade that thing out. We'll need to start working on the next thing. How do we specify that height? There's absolute layout. We told it, oh, I forgot. The XAML stuff, I might have to switch off to a stable Visual Studio. Right now I'm using an early release and XAML doesn't scroll in the early release. This is an internal build. Like I said, another bug for me to file. I always work on the internal builds and that way I can find all the bugs before it makes it to you guys. But let's switch over to real Visual Studio. Current one since we need to be able to scroll on XAML files. All right, so our now playing, let me close the other one just for resources. We don't need two Visual Studios of the same exact project. Move that around so I don't keep clicking on the wrong one. All right, so here we are. So we have our mini player. I opened the right one, right? And I'm not going to be able to scroll on this one either. That's a problem. All right, I really need to file a bug. Okay, no, it's scrolling now. I wonder what was off. All right. So yes, I work for Microsoft and I use a Mac. I use a Mac and I use both. I use them both a lot. I'm actually streaming from a Windows machine, but coding on a Mac. iOS is a lot easier to do on a Mac, so it's a whole lot easier. And yeah, I mean, we have to make our stuff work for Mac, so we've got to use Macs. So Visual Studio for Mac. Okay, let me line this window back up so you guys see it properly. And yeah. All right, so we've got our grid. We've named it mini player. I can now scroll over. Our layout bounds, we've set it to 54 pixels tall. Just hard coded that. We might tweak that because it looks a tad bit small. Let's bring this back up. Yeah, we might make that a tad bit bigger. We'll leave it there for now. So we have our album artwork, which is going to be right there. We haven't bound that to anything. We don't have any data binding yet, so we're just going to keep working without data binding for now. We'll just keep with our text there. All right, so let's build out another grid. We're going to, and this needs, you'll notice this thing is layered, multiple layers. We're going to have the collection view or the image view that actually comes down. And it's hard to see on this one because the black color. Let's switch to another one. Those aren't very pretty. Do we have any pretty album art? Pretty album art. What's a good album artwork? Anyone can think of one? Hey, thanks for the follow, Lucky. Let's Zed. One of those Zed albums has some really pretty album art. Which song was I thinking of? That's not the one I was thinking of, but let's get some pretty album art. They have blurs as well, but you'll notice how, let's pause that, the blurs also extend down below. So that control, pause the music, is full screen. Yes, this app is my own project, not related to my job. It kind of is and kind of isn't. I've been building it since before Xamarin existed. Um, no problem. So yeah, I've been building it since before Xamarin even existed, and it's always throughout the time since I joined Xamarin, we have always used it as a test app. At one point, it was really, really popular. It used to be in like the top 3 music apps on iOS, and I used to have like a couple 100,000 daily active users, and so it was really, really nice as a test case. If when we were, thanks for the follow, Lucky, and number 7, when we were building like at the time our old Xamarin Insights. This was the test app that did all of our analytics data. So as we were building out that service, it flowed in. It helped us test the service, make sure it could handle some volume. And so I've always used it. And so I'm using it now to work on Xamarin.Forms. And I've actually just early this week, I did some pull requests to make Xamarin.Forms better based on this work. So while it's not my direct day job to build this app, I definitely do use it to test our products a lot. Because having a full working app that we have source code to and people can look at it. I mean, I didn't link the repo, but the repo we're working for right now is github.clancy. This is the current repo. This is the Xamarin.Forms repo, and it's a port. Did I not leave? Okay, I did do it there. And we're porting it. This is the existing full-on app that works. So yeah, it's not part of my day job, but it's something I do and continue to do, even though yeah, it's for fun. My music that I'm listening to is actually being played from the Mac version that exists in the the old repo. So yeah. All right. So let's build a grid. Inside this grid, we're actually gonna need 3 of these. This grid is going to be. This one is going to be the bottom controls. Do this right. So this one is going to be. And then this one is going to be our album artwork, which we'll throw in some blurs and whatnot. What I've done in the past, we're going to do some dynamic layout so that way, I'm trying to think the right way of doing this. That extends it. Let's just do the name for now. X name equals artwork. We're also going to need one more. Oh, I just forgot about that one. We're going to need this top bar as well. All right. Grid. Can't type today. So let's throw this in here. So are you using a lot of custom renders by choice, or you'll be refactoring them out to shares? I don't have a lot of custom renders. If you look right now, I have these two, a blurred image view, which I haven't done yet. Actually, I do. So I have a blurred image view. That's going to be custom because, I mean, there is a library, I think, to do some shared code. And then I have this gradient list view, which lets me do the gradient. I could have done this in shared code, but I wanted this gradient to scroll. And so doing that in shared code is not possible. It just doesn't exist. And then I have for my SVG image loading, which I'm probably going to ditch for a font anyway. So right now I have the slide up panel. This has to be shared code because, I mean, it can't be shared code because if you look at the differences, let's explain how this thing works. On iOS, you'll notice that it slides out of the way. On Android, this overlaps. And so this now playing bar is always visible on iOS and it's not on Android. And so this is 2 master details nested inside of each other, which is kind of complicated. And when you navigate through, there's some things on that. Yeah, if you're looking at the old one, yeah, Android has the same amount. We're rocking the same renderers. And the funny thing is if you look at the code on like this one was copied and pasted from this one. I did just change some stuff as we were trying to do the apply tints, so ignore that, but it was the exact same code, like API compatible, minus what it's using. So yeah, we've got 3 custom renderers so far, and I plan on keeping that as minimal as possible. But I had, like I was saying, I had to do that navigation one because when I navigate around, the content that change, I don't want to make a new bar each time, so I change the content underneath, which is tricky. Whereas this one, um, it changes the whole content, and that's just due to the way they nest. And I do have a little if def in there, not if def, but if platform. If we go into the root code for the root view, it does have a build Android and a build iOS, and I'm going to keep with that pattern. So I'll have a default one, but based on the platform, I'm going to do things different. And iOS is going to change because if you're on an iPad, I want this to be different. iPad layout should be slightly different, or if you're doing it on a Mac, um, actually, let me just move my music out. So, yes, listening to music right now. And I want more of this type of layout, but I still want to have the same amount of code share. So, yeah. So the Mac version will do something like this as well. So, yeah, kind of fun. All right, move that back off screen. Yeah, I try to keep them to a minimum as well. We had one for secure storage. Yes, secure storage. Luckily now with Xamarin Essentials, Xamarin Essentials has secure storage, so you don't have to even do that one anymore. All of even my web views, so I don't even do it for web views. I'm using all my authentication for web view authentications through SimpleAuth, and SimpleAuth deals with that for me. So I don't need very many custom renders, which is really, really nice to keep that to a minimum. Okay, so let's just jump back over to our now playing screen. So unless there's any more questions, keep them coming. I love the questions. It's more fun to help you guys than to work on this sometimes. Gives me time to think of how to do this. So this one's going to be the name is going to be the top, or no, what's called nav bar. Yeah, we'll call it nav bar. All right. And so this one is actually going to get the same exact absolute layout stuff as that one. What did I do wrong? I did something wrong. It's complaining. Oh, I have 2 closes. We don't need 2 closes. All right, so we're going to do this one the same. Let's give this one background color of, we'll call this one green. Let's give our artwork one background color of, we have already used fuchsia, we have blue. Let's do maroon, and let's give our bottom controls, we'll go with gray, because that's what it's going to be close to anyway. Ooh. Let's go silver. Silver looks nice. We'll go silver. All right. So this one is going to have the same layouts as that. This one is going to be offset by that 56, and then it's going to go the rest of the screen size. So absolute layout bounds, I always forget the order on these things. And actually, let's bring up the docs to make sure I do these things right. All right, so good news. We published Wraps 2 years ago, so yeah, a lot has changed. So yeah, go look out Xamarin Essentials. Xamarin Essentials is awesome and brings in a lot of great things. Xamarin.Forms, absolute layout. Congrats on shipping. It was 2 years ago. Shipping apps are hard. Yeah. I like doing the first like 60 to 80%. That part's always fun, but that last part, it's brutal. All right. So what we want this one to do is to be offset from the 56 or whatever that thing is. We'll probably set this to something bound so we're not hard coding 56 everywhere. And then we want it to fill the screen after that. So if we do absolute layout, we want everything to be proportional aside from that first one. All right, let's make sure we get this thing right. Let's comment out, oh, no, we'll leave them in there for now. They might get in the way as we're laying this thing out. So this maroon bar, we're going to say absolute layout bounds. I never remember the order of these. It's x, y with height. So x is 0, y is 56, then 1, 1. Is that going to be right? And then if we do, let's just run and see what that looks like. So you did both iOS and Android from start, published in 13 weeks. Wow, that's super exciting. That's pretty quick. With 2 part-time devs, 0 mobile experience. Well, that's really exciting. Using Prism, Dan will be happy to hear that. Right now, I'm not using very many external dependencies. I'm trying to limit that as much as possible. All right, that did not work at all. Absolute layout flags. What are our flags options? Am I not going to get IntelliSense on those? I don't remember what these are. So the only thing we want as absolute is the position. X position. Which one is that going to be? Size proportional, position proportional. So I had to do width proportional because I wanted the width to be proportional, all other values absolute. On this, X interprets the X value as proportional. I wonder if there is one as I want. I want size proportional. That's the one I want. So yeah, NGLs. My next file new is a new forums. Yep, everyone loves Prism. Almost everyone, right? All right, let's run that, see what that's going to do. I wonder, oh, the grid. Yeah, it still should work. The grid should still go full screen, even if we don't have anything else set in there. So let's get some extra colors in here. Hopefully, the pink is there. We still only have blue. What is blue? The main content page's background is blue. Let's just give this a height. Height request equals 200. Let's see what that does. All right, that did not do anything. So let's go into the code behind and let's start digging in and seeing what I'm doing wrong. Because I'm doing something wrong, and I bet we can debug this by peeking at what the layout does. So views now playing. Override. Oh no, override. Layout children. Right line. Actually, we're trying to figure out album page dot. There's something on there for this layout. Oh no, that's the wrong thing. That's this dot album. I thought I gave those all names. I should have a nav. It's the. Oh, I didn't give that one a name. Unexpected character. Oh, name. I know how to write proper XAML, I promise. All right, so now in here we should be able to go like this dot album artwork view. All right. Oh, question. So you can still test iOS while developing on Windows machine? Yes. I do have an iOS device if that makes it easier. For now, you need a Mac. You can build it on. You can actually build it for the simulator and all that. You just can't deploy it without a paired Mac. So that's something that's a little downside. Apple wants you to build all the tools exist for a Mac, so you kind of need that. I think I need to build this IntelliSense. So yeah, right now you need to have a Mac paired on the background, but it will remote the simulator over. So you don't even, if you have a Mac Mini shoved in a closet sometime, some people are using like Mac in the cloud, things like that, but you use a Mac somewhere and then yeah, you can remote the simulator. It's really, really cool. All right, so let's see if this gives this to us now. Start. But you actually can build it without the Mac. You just can't do anything with it. So the other thing you can do is It's a slower dev loop, but you can build, do everything on Windows if you don't have a Mac anywhere, and then use something like App Center. So if you guys haven't looked at App Center, um, Visual Studio App Center. This has hosted Mac build agents. So you can hook up and use these for free, and it'll just build your app and send you an IPA that you can then install on your device. So if you don't have a Mac and you don't want to buy a Mac and you just want to try it out, this is an option to use. Use Android as your dev loop. As you'll notice, I don't touch the iOS project very often at all. My iOS project's pretty empty compared to the Android one. I mean, compared to the shared one. Everything's in shared code. I have very few things in my iOS project. So it's basically setting it up. And then a couple of my custom renderers. So yeah, you can definitely do that. Do it all iOS or Android that way, and then do App Center to do your iOS builds, which works quite well. All right, so our content page, this should have given us names for these things. Why am I not getting names? Let's go to declaration. Is it not doing the generated page? What am I doing wrong here? I just want to make sure I'm getting my generated page. Now playing, I do have a content page. It is set to a class. So that should generate and build that class. Maybe it's because I had it running. Let's stop and start it. Let's go to this. Go to declarations. Now playing page. It did mini player. It did image. What did I do wrong? Why didn't we get the other grids? Okay, let's check and see what I did wrong. Inside our now playing grid, we should have a couple things specified out. Grid xname, grid mini player, that worked. This XAML's not invalid, is it? This has a name of navbar. This has a name of that. That has a name. Oh, do I have two names on that? From all of my other stuff? Yes, I have two names. Two names should give me a compile time error. But I bet that was the problem. Thought I had a name. There we go, that was the problem. All right, so I wonder if that was messing with our layout stuff too. I bet that was. Let's see what happens now. Having two names. Nope, okay, let's debug some layout stuff. Um, dot bounds. All right, run, build error. Why do I have a build error? What'd I do? Let's clean the build. All of my deleting and removing and adding names. How about work for you? That exists. Build. Then why does IntelliSense work? You know what? Let's just grab it from the children. Not right line this dot children. Now this dot content. Oh, the content is an absolute layout. Ah ha ha ha! I'm not even looking in the right place. All right, so var absolute equals this dot content as absolute layout, and I probably should just cast it since it should always be absolute dot children. There we go. Gotta remember these APIs. Dot right line, absolute layout. And actually, it's 2 is what we're looking at. thinking in my array indexes. We are looking at navbar second, so first is this one, or 0, 1, 2. And then let's do a build, and hopefully that'll fix my things. All right, so children, bounds. Let's see how many children this thing has. It doesn't have any children yet. Absolute layout. It just has the one grid. I did this wrong. I did my whole XAML page wrong, guys. We only have one child. We should have lots of children. No? This grid ends here. I am thoroughly confused. I totally thought I was just doing that wrong. That's closed. Anyone else see what I did wrong? Because that should work. Build, clean all. Let's, for now, just remove that and see what happens. Because I should have multiple children. Yeah, I'm using XAML. This screen should be code. I prefer code, but everyone likes XAML, so I use XAML. But right now, I might be dropping the code, guys. All right, so absolute. How many children do you have? All right, so let's see if this fires more than once. Let's do that. Maybe this fires multiple times. Well, if you look at the old gMusic, it was 100% code. Like every cell was laid out, custom cells and everything. So it's kind of the world I live in, but I like trying different things. XAML's nice for some things. Some things are so much easier in the XAML, which is sad. Should never be the case. All right, so layouts once. Maybe the children hadn't been added yet. Thanks for following, Adam Hill 42. So, and if you were watching the styles one, styles were so hard in C Sharp. I had to go write my own C Sharp style helper thing. I need to talk to the forms team and see if we can get that committed and put into normal forms. Okay, this is crazy. How do I only have one grid now? Yeah, nothing. I get that you have a layout markup language that's nice and people like it, but you shouldn't hurt the code people as well. Let's do something crazy. Let's see what that does. 3 grids, 3 different colors. Okay, that should only have one child now, which we agree, it's a grid. Well, that makes no sense. Something's not recompiling, guys. That's the old XAML. When your tooling works against you. Let me get to a good state. Let's save it right here. Something's wrong. I'm going to unload the solution. Something's really wrong. Tooling is working against me. Let's close Visual Studio. It's true. You can't have old XAML if you don't write any. Okay, why is that window so big? But I shouldn't have stale XAML. That should be impossible. What I just ran into should never happen to anyone. More bugs to file. You know what? I don't want to lose track of these bugs I'm having. Okay, so bugs to update. Um, First one is XAML doesn't scroll in current master builds. Okay, the other one we're running into is XAML is not reloading, or is not compiling on each build in current stable VS for Mac. Actually, let's check our versions. I want to make sure I don't have any version mismatches. Forms is on 3.2.0088. iOS. Oh, this could be it. My iOS is out of date. Why is my iOS and Android out of date? That could totally be my problem. Let's check Android too. Maybe they were on the same version. Let's update them all. Accept. Run again, rebuild. Accept the license. Okay, I've got to do 2 more accept licenses. Go faster, Nougat. Go faster. Good old Nougat. All right, one more go. Okay, was that all of them? That one's on 457. This one's on 457. I wish those were consistent. This one's on 457. Let's run again. Man, that was crazy. Having that children all wrong on that. I thought I was going crazy. Now the question is, which layout flags were right? It's still saying children's one. Absolute layouts can have more than one child, right? I'm not using this API wrong. That's the whole point of them. Absolute layout with lots of things in them. That's how you use them. That's the whole point of it. If you could only put one thing, it'd be dumb. Okay. So let's, now that I just updated everything, let's clean. I think I'd get a XAML compile error or something. That didn't save. All right, let's go from there. Let's just start over. Who doesn't want to start over? I wonder if the editor was in some weird state. Oh, let me update my stream topic. We are doing topic um, building now playing screen. What would I do? Oh, it doesn't like exclamation points for some reason. Topic building. I need to debug that. Let's be case proper if we're updating it all. Let's put a C in there. I don't want to tweet incorrectly. Okay. Stream helper's running. Let's update our topic. Retweet this stuff out. Perfect. So now we've got our grid. Let's do name again. This one's going to be our nav bar. Let's give this one I'm going to leave the name up front. Background color of green. Let's do grid again. And let's do X name. This one is album. Art view. And then background color. This one was our maroon one. We had some layout flags that were hopefully right. Let's do those again. Absolute layout bounds 0, 56, 1, 1. And then we decided that the absolute layout flags were, which ones? We want position proportion, no, size proportional. Okay, perfect. So that should fill the whole thing. Let's just run that and see what it does. Build, build, build. Our build's taking a minute, so hopefully it's a good thing and it recompiled things. Okay, simulator's up. Let's hope we have something now. All right, put our breakpoint in. It better have more children this time. If it doesn't, I have another bug to file. Children, too. Okay, that's an increase. I thought we would have two grids. All right, so I wonder if it needs absolute layout flags so they don't show up. That would be weird. Absolute layout flags. This one is going to be the same as this. This one's going to be exactly pretty much this one. So we're just going to copy all these. But we'll move it down a tad just for now because we're not going to do the invisibility yet. And we will say 54, let's say 70. All right, let's see if you need flags. That would be odd if it doesn't get the children if they don't have flags, but I don't know why it wouldn't. Count is still 2. Okay, I didn't think that was it. So we have one called nav, one called out artwork. Let's go jump in our code behind and see which one's going to blow up. So console.writeLine, absolute dot, oh no, sorry. We have nav bar dot bounds, console.writeLine. The other one is called album artwork dot bounds. Man, I just wanted to build this screen, not debug everything. Okay, one's not found. It can't find the album artwork view. So let's go blow away our bin object file. That's the only thing I can think of is something is cached that should be dead, and it's not. Delete you guys. Let's go to iOS and do the same. Trash. Move to trash. Build, clean. Build, rebuild. Oh, it needs to restore NuGet packages. Okay, close solution, reopen it. Yes, save. Please save. Don't want to start over again. So yeah, being asked if this is my day job, no, but it helps to really dog food our product. So I like to do it about once a week, spend some time really dog fooding these things and finding all these issues. So curious. Because we had IntelliSense, it knew it was there, and now it doesn't know it exists. Whoa! My XAML's not saving. Wow, this is awesome. At least I have a video proving this is working, because no one's going to believe me when I file this bug report. You've all seen me type it twice now. All right. XAML is not saving, which means it doesn't compile. It only shows that it didn't save after I reload the solution. All right. I have a good bug report to file. No one else has seen this, right? This is the first time I've ever seen this. This is blowing my mind. If anyone from Xamarin's on, you should grab someone from the IDE team and tell them to join my stream so I can show them this. Jump in Slack and tell them to join. Man, I really wanted to get through this today, but your tooling doesn't work with you. You're fighting it. Okay, I'm going to do a test this time. If it does this again, um, Let's build. So crazy. I don't even know what to say. Okay. That's there. Oh, where? Let's put my breakpoint back. Yeah, I might jump on Slack on my phone and see if anyone from the editor team wants to join and look at this thing. Jumping on Slack, pinging team members, tell them to. Oh, nope, it's wrong. All right, I'm going to save this. Let's save it. Let's go view this file now in code. Let's see what code sees. Reveal in Finder. It's not saving. How? Save it in code. Let's come back to here. Close and reopen it. Wow. Wow, that's all I have to say. I don't even know what to say about this. How did this happen? Okay. Mountain has no bounds. Okay. So we now have multiple views. Let's come in here. Let's try editing this again. Let's add our gray one. Oops. Go lime this time. 64. So it should be 10 pixels below. Oh, I didn't finish pinging someone on Slack. I'll do it in the next build. Next build, I'll ping someone on Slack. All right. Let's go into absolute layout bounds. Oops. And we're going to do 0, comma, 56, comma, 1, 1. And now this one is layout flags. And I should remember which flag that is by now. Size proportional. All right, let's copy this whole thing in case it doesn't want to save it. Let's go back to code. Do I have to reopen it in code? Wow. I don't even know what could be wrong with my project to cause this. If I can't edit XAML, then I can't even continue my stream. We may have ran into a blocking bug, folks. Blocking bug. I mean, I could build it from the code behind. Maybe we do that. Really wanted this to work. All right, we have bounds now. When I edit it in VS Code, it works. Okay, orders are wrong. Why is the green now on top? Do you go to... Do I have to lay them out? Oh, I do have to lay them out in reverse order. All right, so the menu bar, that's kind of ugly. I wish I could do this opposite, exactly opposite. So the album artwork view is the first. It is the biggest. Its background color equals, we'll go with the maroon again. Actually, okay. What? Come here, VS Code. All right, and the problem is I don't get any IntelliSense here. But saving works, so that's a plus. Silver, and then this one is going to be bottom controls, and now you are going to be docked to the bottom. And this layout, I might have to do this layout itself. So what I've been doing is on the old app, what I do is I figure out the square of the album artwork. Oh no, on this one I just set a max size. Okay, that just has a size. We can do that. I don't know what that size is. There's a size. So we'll just bottom dock it, which we can do that in an absolute layout if I remember how. Um, I can bottom center on every device. So what are they doing to dot? That's not very useful. So one, oh, because of the Y. So one half half. That's the bottom label, bottom centered. Okay, we can do that. And then the height will be a set height, which we'll figure out. Let's go into here. And that one is, let's find the right flag for that. That's going to be only everything is proportional except for the width. The width proportional. No, I want the width and I also want the Y to be proportional. Can you do two of them? I'm unsure. Xamarin.Forms, can we do two of them? Multiple layout flags. Yes, you can. Okay, so we want width proportional and Y proportional. Oh, copy the wrong one. And Y proportional. Copying and pasting so I don't do this wrong. All right, so its Y is going to be, the height is going to stay where it is. We're going to put this at like 300. Totally off by right now. And then let's see if that works. I hope that's right. Just close you. Shameful. And okay, it did get my new stuff. Let's run it. Making some headway here. And I wonder if any of my other ones are editing. Fastest way is to just edit another one. Do I have by chance something wrong with the properties? Like it's not allowed to edit? I just don't even know. So weird. Okay, let's run that again now that our cells are, I just want to test. Can't help but do a test. So build error, what's our build error? Cannot convert. It's happening on everything. Okay, closing stable. Let's go to early release. Can't remember, did we build it first? I have enough Visual Studios to switch between. Okay, that's working like we were talking about though. That went 10 pixels below, and that red is the right. Now let's see if our silver is going to dock right. I wonder if it's something triggering off of autocomplete. It seems like whenever the autocomplete kicks in and I hit enter on what's being filled, because it did the color, it just didn't go do what's in the middle. All right, well that's building. Let me ping people on Slack. Um, it's telling. All right, I just posted. See if anyone notices. Hey, that's working. All right, we're gonna go back to this one. Problem is, I can't scroll on that one. Yeah, it's working on this one. So it's definitely a bug in the IDE. I just pinged on Slack. Hopefully someone will join. If not, oh well. All right, so let's get rid of that fuchsia. We don't want that anymore. That was just for testing. So that set saves. Now we're going to our mini player. We have our bottom bar that's silver. I have my absolute layout flags wrong on that, obviously. And I can't scroll. Sorry, I'm going to have to zoom this out to where it's abysmally small for you guys, and I apologize. Oh wait, I got a scroll bar now. Changing the zoom, fix the scroll bar. After I scroll, I can zoom. All right, found a workaround. Let's add that to that bug report. All right, perfect. Fix that. Okay, so silver, we can now scroll. They're not doing something with the sizing. Okay, so on this, absolute layout bounds, width proportional and Y proportional. Let's go check that name, bottom controls. Let's go into here. Let's put a breakpoint here and let's see what it's setting those as. It's kind of nice to be able to debug the layouts this way. If you just override the layout children, you can put breakpoints and see what the bounds are set at, which is really, really useful, especially on doing things like these absolute layout flags, which are really notoriously difficult to get right. All right, so its bounds, its Y, holy cow, is huge. It's way off screen. Did I do that right? The width is right, it stayed. The height is 1. I have Y proportional. I want, no, that's right. Y proportional. I have the wrong Y. I have the wrong value in Y. Y is, okay, let's look at the order of these again. Go back, go back. X, Y, and I think I have the wrong one in there. Yes. This one, wait a minute, why is that right on those? Oh, right, that is the Y. I was looking at that one's offset by 56. So this one is 1, and then the Y value is the last one. So this one is 300. All right, now we have it right. Run that again. Get some. All right, so this time, that's a lot better. All right, let's look how this thing's looking. That's almost right, guys. Not exactly, but that's pretty good. The one thing I'm wondering, look at the one thing that's going to be tricky, and I wonder how to do this. No, I can do that. So that is just docked, the scrolling position is just docked to the bottom there. And so it's still visible here, so you can watch the progress. But then it stays there. That might be tricky because it's not always docked. All right, we're not going to worry about that one right now because I'm not sure how to do that. I'm going to have to be dealing with code. That's why I've exposed all these so we can adjust their stuff at runtime. Maybe we adjust its offset based on how displayed it is. I know it's a very complicated layout. You'll even notice the labels on this. I don't know if I'm going to do it the exact same way. The labels move around. So fancy stuff. It's not needed in this mini view. Okay, so we've got that. Now let's get some playback controls. Let's work on that. Let's get some playback controls in here. We'll fight the artwork later. We'll make that play button work. We'll make that one look better. Let's create a new view type, and we're going to do our image view. The reason is I'm going to have this, yeah, we're just going to do an image button. So let's do add new SVG image button. What this will do is, because we're going to need to have states for these buttons. We're going to need to be able to have for coloring and targeting. So we'll have, I wonder if they all need states. Yeah, we're going to need something with states because pretty much every button is stateful aside from next. Because next play will switch between play and pause. So that's stateful. This is stateful. The only thing that's not stateful is the next and is the previous and next button. Even that gets like the tint. Okay, we need state. All right, so actually we'll just start with the basic one. We'll start with this, which is public image. I'm going to do this one in code. Should I do in code or should we do it XAML? We'll do it in code. Thanks for the follow, Anonymous. Is that your actual username? Or are you following me and you're not logged in? But how can you follow me if you're not logged in? Pretty ominous. So we'll just start by having an image here. We'll do this needs to have a. What if we do it as a content view? We'll do a. I like actions, not events. I have a very unpopular opinion. Action. All right, so content view. So on this one, we will say we need public, public. What are we gonna do? We need the string name for the SVG image, right? SVG name. Actually, I do all of that from, we're gonna bind that thing. Yeah, we'll just do that elsewhere, so that'll be fine. We'll grab that from our images stuff. We don't want that here. All right, so we have our SVG image. We have our button tapped. Let's do this dot content equals. I probably need to do something with the circle. Now we'll do with the circle separately. Trying to think about that circle. We'll do that separately. So content equals image, which equals new image. This is my music. All right, got that. And then we'll do this dot content dot add or dot gesture recognizers dot add new. We're gonna need to make sure we set these so we can subscribe and unsubscribe them. No, we'll be fine here. Okay, gesture recognizer, because we're not gonna, these aren't gonna be anything that's in repeating. All right, so new tab gesture recognizer. Didn't they deprecate this thing? Depreciate? However you say it? No, that's still there. It's the one. Does that still work? What are my options? View. And is that complaining about anything? Yeah, it's obsolete. Please use a command instead. I hate the command stuff. Again, more unpopular opinions. No, can't I do? I can do that, right? Or something to that effect. Command takes an action. That's what I have. Okay, so new tap gesture recognizer. Let's go to declaration. Hopefully this will go faster than it did last time. Google's I'm Feeling Lucky playlists are failing me today. Assembly browser. I restarted my machine right before I did this just to make sure I had plenty of memory freed, everything was gonna work. And it's going so slow today. So slow. Oh, so the command is a property on it? Oh, okay. I don't like that, but we'll deal with it. Just so verbose. So verbose. That right? No, I did the wrong one. There we go. Wow, that was rough. Just to add an action back because they don't support it. And invoke this. All right, so bad. All right, so we have an SVG image button, which this lives inside of gMusic views. Let's go, because I can never remember this horrible syntax up here. What I'm looking for, no, it's the, excuse me, do you look in here? It's this one I'm looking for. That guy. I wish we auto-added your namespace, because that would be really nice, just to have like local, and it just always works. All right, so where were we at? We're now going to go use this inside of our now playing view. Now playing page. It's very big. We might want to break this stuff up into user controls later, but for now we'll go with that. We will in 8.2. Really, we'll just auto have it so we don't have to, because I hate having to add those every time. That's super exciting. Thanks for following, James. Didn't realize you were in here. Or thanks for joining us. All right. Okay. So just not on Mac, so in 8.2 we'll get it? Okay, that's super nice. Is that something we're adding to the templates, or is it something we just get by magic? All right, so bottom now, in that bottom view, we okay. So if local's there, right? I'm just saying, will I have to add that to add local, or will local will automatically auto generate local and put local in there for us? Because that would be nice. All right, so inside of here, bottom controls, we now have a grid. So let's start filling this thing out. Let's look what this thing's going to look like. We're going to focus on the full screen thing. Let's forget the slider for now. This bottom one, okay, that's going to be a separate thing. We'll ignore that. We're going to need um, two labels that are going to stretch the whole thing. We're then going to need playback controls. Okay, that's nice. So I won't have to, but I will have to fill out everything else though. That's all I mean is I hate having to even add this every single time. I want the magic to where that's just there for me, or I specify what counts as that. There's a way to do that inside, or there is a way to do it for UWP to where you can like add all your controls to be inside the basic stuff, but it doesn't work in forms. So I want that. All right, so grid dot rows. Oh, you don't have to specify. Do you have to specify namespaces though? Oh, not rotation. Grid dot rows. Row definitions. All right. Namespace, yes, I'm fine with that. Namespace only, but I still didn't want to do that. I want a way to do that globally to where if I do that, like inside my app delegate, there's a way, and I was talking about them in forms, to where I want to just do like an assembly. gMusic is this, and it just shows up everywhere. That's what I want. So I never have to keep doing this. All right, so row, let's do in 3 rows. We need 3 of these. And these we can just close off like that. Ah, that does autocomplete. Okay, last time I was getting a weird bug from having those, so that other one is auto-completed in. That's interesting. Nice to know. James, were you in here when my XAML wasn't updating? Did you see that nonsense? I'm wondering if you've seen anything like that before. Grid dot column definitions. We're going to need. Actually, I wonder if I just do 3 and I throw that in a stack and that in a stack. Because trying to get that, we're just going to do that. We're totally going to have one column. All right. So in that case, I don't even need diff that's. Yeah, because I don't like the spacing on these either. All right, we'll just do that. All right, so what we'll do in here is we'll do a new stack layout. And the reason we're doing a stack layout is so the top text, we want them to stay together. All right, so we'll put this namespace up here. We'll do 2 labels. Okay, two of them, and this one, the text is Now we'll just say the blink. Actually, the first, how do we do it? So first one is the song and album artist. So we'll just call this, we'll just fill it out right. Let's grab what we have from the other one. So actually we want to grab those styles too. Because didn't I style those? I don't remember what those styles are called. I didn't style those yet. How did I not style those? All right, let's go to the now playing cell because that has the styles. Turn on dynamic style, main text label, and detail text label. So where were we? Now playing screen, now playing screen. See, I copy and paste code just as much as everyone else does. Totally how I roll. You know what? I'm going to do something crazy. I'm going to see, I don't even have the option to turn the previewer on. There's supposed to be a previewer button there? All right. Oh well, we'll just go with that. And then this one is subtext. All right, style. Now this thing is going to just be in the first one. For this one, we'll just say text for now is all the small things. Hard to say that without trying to sing it. Dare you to try it. If you know the song, it's near impossible. All right, text equals, I think, 182, and then I think I put a dash in there. Dash. All right, so now let's see how that looks. Once that's in there, we'll throw in 2 more stack labels or layouts. We'll have everything center inside their grids, and the player should be okay. We'll make those buttons work. I might actually drop into code and do some of these in code. Where'd I get that pink from? I thought I removed that. Right, that editor wasn't actually saving, was it? Wait a minute, where's fuchsia coming from? There's a lot of fuchsia there that's not supposed to be. Is this not saving again? Only one way to find out. Reveal in Finder. Okay, it's happening on this one too. I have no idea how to fix this. I think I need to restart my machine or something insane is going on my stream. Well, that's the old one. We don't want to go back to that. Let's go back to this. This is crazy. All right, so let's go into the now playing screen. Let's copy this. Can I just do open with Visual Studio Code? Yeah, insane. Save. Oops, I don't know what I just did. I didn't mean to switch that. Let's try, instead of doing the hotkey, do 5. Look, it's not even giving me this little save indicator thing. The IDE has no idea that this file was edited. That's why it's not saving. I don't know what to say. All right, let's paste this here. Let's go back to window, close all windows. Okay, it's working now. Something's happening where those are getting out of sync. I have a fix. Close all windows, reopen it. All right, that's getting better. All right, so let's make these things medium cells. I had these things set to fill and expand on both of them. So we'll do that here as well. Fill and expand. Just crazy to me. All right, fill and expand, fill and expand. Make sure the text centers. I think it auto centers. Oh, we'll just do it anyway. Horizontal text alignment equals center. Do that on both of them. Let's run it again. I wonder if it's my hotkey. The hotkey save's not working. Open with code. Enter. It doesn't have my vertical options. So I think my hotkey of saving is breaking it. So let's check that. What if I never press the save key, which is going to be a hard habit to break? So let's change this to, what other color options are there? Let's do purple. All right. So this time I'm not going to do my save hotkey. And we'll see if it changes. I know you shouldn't have to do the save key, but I've just done it for so long, that'll be nice to have an easy repo form. If you do Command S, it breaks it. That did it. Don't do Command S. Got it. Okay. We're getting somewhere. We're getting somewhere. So I wonder, I can put into this one vertical options equals center. We're going to center that one. The next one is going to be a stack layout. This one, we might do some of this in code. I think we're going to mix between code and not code. Because I'm going to want to do some stuff for toggling states, or maybe we'll teach them to be smart and toggle themselves. But we're going to have to be able to set their state based on the current song. And we can't truly, maybe we can data bind that. We can try it. We'll do that. All right, so this one, where is going to be the X name? This is roles stack. And let's inside of here, let's just do it the right way for now. Stack layout. All right, so we are going to, oh, I can't use my image source thing yet. Can I? Because doing that via data binding won't work. All right, we're going to build this part. We're going to do it half in XAML, half in code. That's how we all do it, right? All right, now this thing is going to be grid.row equals 1. And then we're going to say our vertical options equals center. All code. I do it in code a lot too. I really do. I have a ton of extension methods that I haven't brought over, so I can do my save bindings, set bindings like all declaratively, so I don't have to keep jumping out and saving variables. And then we want this thing to be horizontal options equals fill and expand. And we need one more of these, which is going to be this bar. We'll just go with that right now. This one is going to be grid.row equals 2. Let's give these things some background colors so we can know what we're dealing with. You get to be olive and you get to be teal. I like it. All right. This one is going to be horizontal or vertical options equals end. And vertical horizontal options equals fill and expand. Horizontal options equals fill and expand. Oh, I did my save key. Habit. Let's see if it broke. Open with code. Did break. Okay, that's going to be a very hard habit to break. Don't do Command S. It does it on the internal build and the stable. I've tried both. Both of them are broken. So I keep switching back and forth. Right now I'm on the latest internal, but Command S is totally broken. and I need to get that filed. All right, let's add some more notes now that I know what's causing that. No, it did it in, yes, this one's on release, but I went to current stable and it was still doing it. I have both. And this is stable and it does it too. Check for updates. Wait, how did that one switch to? Do I have, okay, maybe I only have, maybe I didn't, maybe this one's not stable. This one's not our preview one. Okay, maybe I was on internal preview for both. So I know this one says preview. Like the icon tells me it's preview. So you preview. And then this one, the icon does not tell me it's preview. Visual Studio about. No, it's still saying it's, how'd they both turn? Okay, I somehow got them both out of sync. Sorry, that makes a lot more sense. Let's update this one. That's crazy. Okay, good to know. So it's an internal preview one and it's a known bug. So that's good to know. Oh, and I just hit Command S again. It's such a habit. I do it all the time. All right, so we're going to see what this thing looks like. Running now. It's building now. All right, we've been getting to where I've been streaming for a while anyway, so I'm going to go update and change my stuff around. Emerzix, I don't know how to say it, sorry. Thank you for the follow. I like trying, even though I can't do it. 8.4 is normal. Let's see if that one is still downloading. Why am I not seeing my grids though? All right, so grid. Column, oh, why do I have column? No, that's the wrong one. All right, so up here, we have our grid, our silver one, okay? Stack layouts. Let's make sure we have this right. Grid row 1, grid row 2. We shouldn't have to add rows. Since these stack layouts have nothing in them, they're just going to be empty. All right, that makes sense. So let's add just something into them for right now. And here, let's just add a label in them for right now. And then we'll just do the play button controls really quick. Equals bottom bar. And then same for this guy. Label equals text equals playback. I just want to see what this looks like. I'm gonna keep doing that because it's hard coded in my brain to do that. And I did it again. Oh, it worked that time though. Let's go back and see if I have the non-preview one, which I thought wasn't preview. It has updated. Get that one turned back down to non-internal preview. Table. Okay, and because I have the other instance, it thinks they're both trying to download it. All right, so let's see what this thing looks like. All right, that one's gonna need some padding. I'm gonna want that thing to center, not to be all the way bottom. Hey, Destroons, thanks for the follow. That's looking about right. I want that one there. That one's going to, I want this one to take the most space. So we're gonna set that one to be center and fill. And then we'll just set this bottom one to be center. So vertical options, center, and then this one will be center and expand. That way it'll take up all the extra space. look at that, and I think that will be looking pretty good. Next time we'll just throw some buttons in there. Once we have buttons, we'll be able to easily start working. I mean, this is really ugly, I know, but and we don't have anything data bound yet, and we're not going to start data binding everything until we have buttons to work with. Let's just throw some buttons in there. All right, now playing page. I want to do that before we end. All right, so we have this, right? We don't need any of that thing anymore. What did I just call this? I called this, actually, we could do, right, I'm thinking how to do this right. So we just created our new button, which is our SVG image button. We'll just do it here for now. We called this one the control stack. Control stack dot clear, no dot children dot clear. Just to reset that out. Then we'll do control stack dot children dot add. We want a new, what's that thing called? SVG button. We're going to say the image equals image dot source is n graphics SVG. Let's enter this down a line. I'm going to say new, the first button. Let's make sure I do them right. The first one is thumbs down. Okay, that one ends, comma there. That one ends with that. That one's there. Why am I getting an error? Cannot SVG image button with a collection. Oh, image. I think I need to do that. There we go. That's better. Image source equals, and that resource SVG thumbs down, it's probably called? Thumbs down. Actually, I like putting all these in the same place. Let's go to our image helper. We'll throw them all in there. So public static, now playing. So we'll do public static class, static. We're just gonna steal this for now. Instead of search icon, this is thumbs. Just like this, it's nice and organized. And if I change all my graphics all at once, it's nice and easy. And we'll just go with that. Images dot now playing screen dot thumbs down. And it even namespaces them doing it that way. Oh, now I don't even have to do the new. I just say you equal this. All right. We also want to make sure that we tell this thing to center its controls. So there's a property on a layout stack to how to lay things out. Does anyone remember what that thing's called? To center everything, or do I need to put each control as center? Maybe that's what I have to do. I thought I could do something. Vertical options equals, that's an enum, right? Layout options dot center. I think I need that. All right, perfect. Done, done, done. We'll do that. We'll probably create a method. Just do it now. Static. And what we'll do in here is, we may change this later, but for now we'll just say in graphics image source, and then we'll just say action action, action. Now we can just put this. Just say the image button, this. All right, so now, oops, I didn't do that right. Button is that. All right, so now we can just easily create those things. This source goes to here. So we've got one of those. Let's do two of them. Let's do the previous button and then that one. Did I not enter first? Enter previous, and again, let's look that thing up. It is just previous. Pretty consistent with those naming, but I like to check. All right, let's just add all these while we're in here. We need previous, we need play, we need pause, we need next, we need thumbs down, thumbs up. So I think this is just called play button bordered. And then this one is pause button. Don't we have a pause button? Pause button. Hopefully I spelled all those right. This one is going to be, instead of previous, it's going to be next, and then thumbs up. Play, pause, next, thumbs up. All right, it's quick. Do these again. So we need, previous, play, and that one we don't need a pause. We need next, and we need thumbs down. Previous, play, we'll just set this to play for now. We'll make that a stateful thing later. Next, and thumbs up. All right, let's see how this looks. Hopefully it's good. Hopefully it's good. We're getting somewhere. Oh, I didn't tie that action in. We'll deal with that. All right, why'd I click off? Okay, we need to change the orientation options. That play button size is wrong. It needs to be a lot bigger. Oh, I don't do that one circled, do I? I only do the circled one up there. Okay, let's go to images, and you guys are not, you are just play button then, right? No bordered. And that'll make it a lot bigger too. And okay, we've got that, we've got that. Jump over to the XAML, and we are going to say, it's this one, orientation equals horizontal, and we need that here as well. Oh, it's in a bad state. It's not showing me it's edited. At least I know what to look for now, because that was maddening. Run that, let it save itself. I'll update and make sure my normal is actual normal. I thought I had stable installed. I guess I have two previews installed, which is less than helpful. That's my bad. All right, almost done. Yay, that just needs to center itself. So let's change this to, I want better spacing as well. So stack layout, spacing equals 6. We'll just throw 6 in there. Horizontal is just, okay, I thought you could have this stack layout just Xamarin.Forms stack layout even. How do I evenly distribute for controls? I could just do another grid there. So people are saying set everything to fill and expand. All right, that's what's nice about having this as a factory. Oh, no, that's vertical options anyway. I just need horizontal options. Let's also go tapped equals action. And now that should look better. So if that fills and expands, that fills and expands, they will now evenly space themselves out. And I may do something where I have some margin so it pulls them in a little bit. That is looking pretty good. I need to adjust the sizes on those. That thumb's good. Those need to go like half the size. That needs to go bigger. But I really like that. That's looking really, really nice. Okay, let's change some image sizes. So if our previous button is too big, let's drop this down to like 20. We'll do that for that. We'll make this one, oh no, it's this one. Sorry, let's make this one like 36. I like the play button being big and prominent. There's just something about just saying bam, it's right there. All right. Run this guy again. Okay. All right. Oh, those still did not. It's the vertical options are just supposed to center. Let's do that. It's not editing. Let's go back into it again. Okay, spacing. I don't even know if we need the spacing now. Spacing's not needed. We will now say where to have vertical options set. Roll over to horizontal, horizontal or vertical options center. We don't want them to expand. Oh, and I hit the save. I'm never going to retrain myself not to do that. I just need a downgrade. That's impossible for me. Well, again, guys, this is why I like to be on previews. I like to feel these pain points so that way I can complain and get it fixed before you guys ever see these things. Because, yeah. Okay, that needs to be center and expand. We're getting somewhere. What did I do wrong there? So that stack layout, the olive one. Orientation. Its vertical options are center and expand. Oh no, that's this one. Its horizontal options are set to center, fill, and expand. Any thoughts on that, guys? That should make it do that, right? Just do center and expand. I don't know why that would make a difference. Maybe it didn't save. Let's just do it the safe way. All right. Oh, why did iTunes just pop up? I don't want iTunes. And now it's reading Harry Potter to me. That's pretty funny. Close you. All right. That's still not right. I wonder if it has something to do with this. Because the bottom bar was working and now it's not as well. Look at it in VS Code so we can fix it there. All right, so this bottom bar is this one, the teal one. Vertical options are center. Horizontal options are center and expand. I wonder if it's something now to where this grid needs a horizontal options. No, it's right because it's silver all the way across. So inside the grid, we need this thing to be horizontal options fill and expand. Background color equals blue. We'll just go with that. Let's see what the labels are doing. And if we don't get this going, I've got to drop off soon. I've got other things to do. It's been fun while it lasted, but Lots of little weird bugs. Okay, that's going right now. That's what we want. Except those are the wrong height. Let's see if we can fix that really quick. If not, I'm going to give up for today. All right, so the olive one. We want horizontal options that, right? I think the problem with that is in the C# code. So horizontal options, let's do vertical options equals layout options dot center. I think that's what we need. And I think that will fix it. Yeah, sorry it's so late for you. I'm going to be dropping off as well. Thanks for following. I do export all these to YouTube as well, so if you ever want to follow along or check up, or you can then fast forward me. All right, that's looking better. Those are way too small. Those don't look right. Oh, I think when I did this before, I offset those because I made them go like this, so that way the knuckles were kind of centered. I forgot I did a manual offset on those because they just look graphically a little funny. That button's about the right size. Let's make those a tad bit bigger, and then I'm going to call it for the day. And then I'll push this code up, and you guys can all play with it. And if anyone wants to send me a pull request, make this stuff fancier, make this look better, fix my bad code, I'd love it. We'd even then get to review a pull request. Okay, let's check where we made it on our settings screen. We definitely did get an account login done. Tinted images are very, very not done. Um, I'll partial. I can't do a partial, but we worked on that today. That is looking beautiful, guys. We now have some buttons. Let's put a breakpoint inside these taps to make sure it actually went. Taps are working, so we're getting taps. We'll need to do some stuff to make them react right, but I like it. So my channel is Clancy. My YouTube one is, what is my YouTube one? I think it's just, I'll find out. Also, they're on Twitch for a while. Hey, there's me. That is definitely me, but that's not the video I'm looking for. YouTube channel. That's not me. Maybe I'm just Clancy on there. Oh, here, this is for my playlist. So this one's definitely my channel. This is one of the old streams. I've been building this app completely on here. So let's go to, wow, I can get named channels, can't I? I'm going to paste this in here, and I'm going to figure out how to name my channel because I should have something like Clancy or not that. Oh, customize channel. Maybe I can do that live. How do you change your title? Channel. No. I have no idea how to change my title name. I'll have to Google that and figure that out later. Yeah, I haven't filled out my channel all the way. So there's the link. Oh, you need 100 subscribers first, so I should be pushing to get YouTube subscribers because I have 17. Okay, well, there's my channels. Or there's my channel. But yeah, I export them all there. You can also find them all in, you can find them inside of, oh, I just got a fancy sound. I don't know what that was. Maybe it was YouTube. All right. But definitely follow along there. These are going to be up on my Twitch channel for the next 30 days. They give it to you, or 60 seconds. Official sound. Someone say sound. I don't think anyone said sound, but welcome official sound. We're just finishing up here for the day. Um, we've built some stuff. I'm happy with where we've made it progress-wise. I want to finish out this now playing screen so it actually looks better like this one. We're going to have to do some fancy stuff with images to do that. Add some blurs. We need to fix some text. We need some progress bars. But this is looking pretty dang good. I'm happy with it so far. So, like I was saying, anyone, if you want to send me pull requests, if you want to edit some stuff, we'll review the pull requests on here. If not, I'm going to continue again. Thanks, Official Sound, for the follow. I'm going to continue again on gMusic next Wednesday. I'm probably going to throw in another random one where I finish some some font stuff with Xamarin.Forms. So I like to, when I'm working on Xamarin.Forms, I like to follow those as well. And I'll see you guys later. Thanks again for the stream. If there's any ever questions, ask them in the stream. I love the interactions. It doesn't even necessarily need to be on what I'm working on. It can be anything Xamarin or Xamarin Forms or maybe even .NET stuff related as well. So ask questions. I'd love to talk to you guys and help you guys out and make sure that these streams cover the things you guys want to do. Now that we've got the now playing screen done, we'll probably work on it a bit more, and then we can start working on the audio playback. I know those are going to be exciting times, cross-platform audio playback. I'll also have to deal with downloading MP3s and streaming them while I download them, and playing them while they're streaming, all kinds of nonsense with that. So that stuff's going to get fun. Bali Pangala, thanks for the follow. And I'm going to end the stream there, and I will talk to you guys later. Thanks. See ya.